up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing this makeup look right here. For the eye look, I used the Kat Von D Metal and Matte palette. This palette is not the easiest palette to work with. For this eye look today, I used this color Oak, and I had to build it up to like 6 to 7 times in order for it to look this smooth, because it was looking patchy, so I had to work a little bit extra. But these metal eyeshadows here are really nice. They're so smooth and buttery. I've used a couple of them already. Like this one here is so beautiful. Like, how pigmented is that? This Ignite color I have not used, but it's, I think, one of my favorite colors in this palette. So yeah, overall this is an okay palette. You do have to work a little bit extra to make it work, but I really don't mind. In situations like this, I feel like I always try to make it work because it's such a gorgeous palette and it has gorgeous colors in it. So if you want to learn how to create this makeup look, then continue watching. So my face is already moisturized. I'm going to go in with primer, and I'm taking the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Primer, and this is just to add more hydration onto my skin because I do have dry skin. Next, I'm taking some Maybelline's Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser, and this is just going to help the texture on my nose look nice and smooth. So now I'm just going to moisturize my lips with Maybelline's Baby Lip Moisturizing Lip Gloss, and I've talked about these before. I would totally recommend these. I love them. For foundation, I'm going to be using the NARS Luminous Weightless Foundation, and then I'm also going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. But I'm first taking the NARS foundation, and I love this foundation for redness. Like, seriously, if you have redness, I would totally recommend this foundation. You can see how well it covered up my rosacea. Honestly, I like this better than any green correcting primer because the coverage lasts way longer. But I cannot wear this alone in the wintertime because it does cling onto my dry patches. So that's why I'm just going to be adding this onto my cheeks. And then I'll be adding the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation to the rest of my face because this foundation is very luminous and hydrating. And that's exactly what I need right now because it is winter and my skin is very dry. For my concealer, I'm taking the Bomb Ass Tarte Tape and Shape Concealer. Like, literally every time I'm editing out this part, it's just so satisfying to watch because of how good this concealer is. It is very high coverage and it blends out very nicely, and especially with this brush that I'm about to use. This is the Real Technique sculpting brush, and you know, this concealer just makes me look like I'm awake, and it's very brightening and it's very hydrating. I just really love this concealer. Now I'm going to set my concealer with the RCMA No Color Powder. This is a very good and affordable powder. I love it. It has lasted me for a really long time, and I'm just taking my damp beauty blender and I'm really making sure that I press that powder in until it fades away into the skin. And before you set the concealer, just make sure you go in one last time with your blending brush and really blend out that concealer underneath your eyes, because this is going to help you later on during the day, so you won't get any creases underneath your eye. I'm also putting that powder on the rest of the face where I put the concealer and where, you know, my highlighting spots are. Now to set the rest of my face, I'm taking my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder. And I have to set the rest of my face because otherwise, you know, my bronzer and then my blush and highlight won't go on very smoothly. I am now taking the Wet n Wild contouring palette in the color Caramel Toffee and bronzing up my face with the bronzer shade, which is really pretty. I love the color. You know, you're gonna see that I like to give myself a bronzer helmet, so yeah. Now to contour and give me some cheekbones, I'm going to be taking the NYX blush in the color Taupe, and it's just a really nice shade to give you like a hollowed look, so you know, it makes you look like you have sucked in cheeks. And then I'm going to go back in with that bronzer shade, and then I'm going to use that shade to contour my nose just a little bit. One trick that I like to do is I like to bring it all the way up to my, up to my eyebrow and crease. It just makes it look a little bit more natural, just a little bit. So recently I have been using this Essence Cream to Powder Highlight first, and then I'll go ahead and put on my regular highlight. And I've been loving this. You can see how pretty this product is. You know, on its own, it's already popping. You don't need to put like extra more highlight. I just really wanted to try a cream product now because, like I said, it's cold already and my skin is more dry in the winter. So this really helps out for the highlighter to look not powdery. With this product, you do have to be careful and put on little by little because it can look patchy later on. To highlight some more, I'm now going to go in with BECCA Cosmetics Moonstone Highlighter, and it's just a very pretty vanilla shade that goes with a lot of looks. For blush, I will be mixing two blushes together, and these are MAC's COOPERTONE and MAC's Flower Power. It's just a very nice, beautiful color combined together. I can get a little crazy, so this is where I like to take a stippling brush and then just blend everything together. It does really help, so nothing will look harsh. So now moving on to the eyes, I'm going to prep and conceal with the Tarte Tape and Shape Concealer. This works really good because it doesn't crease out your eyeshadows during the day, like seriously. No lie. So now I'll be setting the concealer, but this time I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild contouring palette in the color Dulce de Leche. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of the RCMA powder underneath my eyes so it can catch fallout. So for today's eye look, I'm using the Kat Von D Metal and Matte palette, but I didn't see any good transition shade that I wanted to use. So I just mixed two shadows from the Lorac Mega Pro palette. But honestly, I didn't show this because you can use any transition color that you like. So I will just be building this up about 3 layers, a little bit higher than my crease. Now onto the Kat Von D palette, I'm taking the color Oak with a Morphe 433 brush and slowly going to start to blend this right into the crease. This eyeshadow honestly isn't the smoothest formula. Actually, I think some of the other matte shadows as well, like, you know, they're kind of hard to work with. I've done a couple looks already with this palette, and, you know, I had the same situation with the other matte shades. I honestly had to layer this eyeshadow maybe 7 to 8 times so it can look decently smooth. So just keep that in mind. I edited a lot out, but I went back and forth with different brushes and just kept layering it on. So lastly, I'm taking my MAC 224 brush and making sure that everything looks nice and blended. So now I'm taking a little bit of concealer and I'm going to clean up my crease. I'm not going to do any cut crease. Just in my mind, and a little tip, it makes me feel like I have more lid space because the lid color that I'm going to be putting on my lids, I really want it to show. So the concealer is actually gonna make me have like a new lid. You can see here that I'm looking straight ahead and I'm bringing it a little bit higher than my actual lid. I'm going to be taking the metal eyeshadow in the color Century. Now the metal shades in this palette, I love them all. Like, they're very pigmented and very buttery and smooth. With MAC Fix Plus especially, they even look more metallic. This palette has a really good selection on different metal shades. They're just very, very pretty. Now I'm going back in with my Morphe M433 brush because I don't want this to be a cut crease. So I'm lightly blending some more. And then I'm going back in with my MAC 224 brush just to blend everything out completely. And then here I just wanted to see how that metal shade would look on the lid if I put it on with my finger. But it's kind of exactly the same with the brush. Now I'm going to be taking Milani's liquid eye pencil in the color Black. And I'm going to be watering my upper and lower waterline. I'm going to be taking a little bit of the jet eyeshadow, and I'm going to be blending that eyeliner a little bit and also setting the eyeliner as well. I'm now taking my Morphe M169 pointed brush, and I'm blending the transition color semi-low onto the lower lash line. And then in the middle, I'm going to be taking that oak color again, and I'm going to be blending that into the middle of the transition color, and then also that black eyeshadow. Now I'm going to blend all those three shadows together with that same pointed brush. I'm going to be doing a wing, and I'm taking my NYC liquid liner, and I'm going to do a black wing on both of my eyes. So after, I'm just going to put on some mascara and then these angel lashes in number 74. I'm taking the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche again, and I'm taking that highlight shade to brighten up the parts of my face that I want to be more brightening. And oh my gosh, this powder I really love because it's very smooth, and I love the color as well. I think I like this powder more than the Kat Von D highlight shades in her contouring palette, like no lie. For my inner corner highlight, I'm taking the shade Twinkle, and it's just a very gorgeous lilac shade. So freaking poppin' on the inner corner. I love it. I did do a couple layers of this inner corner highlight, so so we are almost done. Now moving on to the lips. I took this Jordana lip liner in the color Cabernet, and I'll just be lining my whole lips with this and then be filling it in as well. To finish off the look, I'm using Milani's Metallic Lip Cream in the color Pretty Problematic. Now this shade I don't think is as metallic as the other ones, but I still think it's a gorgeous color. Just with a little bit of concealer, I'm going to be cleaning up the lines because sometimes with dark lips on me, it can look a little bit messy. So I'm just, you know, making everything look nice and straight. And lastly, I love this part, spray yourself with some MAC Fix Plus. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed and learned something by watching my video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!